Okay, good afternoon, Soch 495. Today I'm going to connect my sociological themes to the Young and Taurus article that I found relevant to the Rancho Costa Humane Society and the time that I volunteered there. Uh, the first idea from the article I want to talk about is the speciesism of animals, the idea of would you eat your dog, would you eat your cat? Most people would say probably the answer would be no to that. It's important to realize what animals in our culture we value over others. Dogs and cats, luckily, they don't get eaten in our culture, but we do eat cows and pigs. Who's to say that a cow and pig wouldn't enjoy the company of a human in a domestic environment? Speciesism is where we value some animals over other animals, and I think at the Rancho Costa Humane Society, it was really evident to me because last time I was there, I think I took a head count of about 4 dogs, large dogs over 40 pounds, to about 15 dogs under 20 pounds. So right there, the Rancho Costa Humane Society is reenacting the idea of speciesism, which dogs they have more value over. And I think one big hang up for the Rancho Costa Humane Society is they do good work and they do have love for animals, but I think in the end they get really caught up with appealing to the community and being seen as touchy-feely, lovey-dovey, I love animals, let's get this animal a new home, opposed to structurally shifting the way our society views animals. My site supervisor, she had mentioned that she believed that animals continue to be exploited and were the result of homelessness because of the idea of pet versus companion animal. She says that animals are always seen as lesser than humans, and because of that, people don't take care of them as well, and there's less value in them. And in my literature review, we definitely talked about the importance of language and how something as simple as the word "this is my pet dog" and versus "this is my companion animal." Pet implying ownership, and companion animal kind of implying more of a symbiotic relationship where you guys are companions and you guys both benefit from the relationship. Just like we talked about with Father Boyle, I believe, where he says, if you have a message for these young men, call me back when you lose your message, meaning you're not here to bestow something upon these individuals, just like with the animals, you're equally enjoying a relationship among one another, not necessarily thus looking down your nose kind of mentality. Back to Young and Taurus, the speciesism. We talked about the big dogs versus little dogs. You also will see cuter, prettier dogs necessarily, opposed to dogs that maybe aren't as visually appealing. And one thing that we've talked about in different articles is the idea of dogs being bred solely for the idea of capitalism and monetary gain. They breed dogs a certain way to appeal to society. Now you have all these Shih Tzus, all these breeds that are crossbreeds that make dogs more appealing to people purchases. Dogs that don't shed as much, that stay smaller, that don't have breathing problems. They're smarter, more intelligent. Just the amount of capitalism and that amount of money that we make off of the animals. The second thing after speciesism would be the objectification. There's a placard car on the kennel of one of the dogs that I was working with, and his name was Joey. He's a whippet. And the placard card described Joey as being fast and sleek and taking corners well and stopping on a dime and getting really good gas mileage and being able to go for days. And really what the thing was doing was using an analogy for how Joey was a car. And that's total objectification. And by objectifying something, a human or an animal, we're able to remove that kind of care and empathy that we have for them because we no longer see them having life and feelings. So we're turning a Joey into an object, which is non-organic and doesn't have any feelings. So yes, I saw definitely objectification and speciesism at the Rancho Costa Humane Society. And like my site supervisor talked about in vocabulary and how pet versus companion animal, those are two big key things. My companion animal right now is trying to knock over this table. So yes, Young and Taurus. The over kind of arching idea of Young and Taurus to me that I wanted to just bring home is the idea of making money off of animals. And Davis talks about the abolishment of prisons. Well, the last thing that I would like to argue is the abolishment of animals for companion animals, because no matter how hard we try, if animals are being sold for companions, then there's going to be a profit made off of it. If there's somewhere out there being a profit made, unfortunately, in this day and age, people probably aren't going to do the right thing in all cases, and animals will be exploited. And animals don't have a choice to decide whether or not they're sold. So right there, that's wrong, and that's not justice. And the second thing is the abolishment of animals for product whatsoever, whether or not that's meat for food, leather for clothes, um, horse races, all those things. That's the way that human beings are making money off of animals. And in the process of making money off of animals, animals are being mistreated and exploited. That's not justice. That's not just. And so therefore, we need to abolish those things. Like Davis says, although it might be scary, we've always thought of prisons and animals as food as something natural. Well, just because it's natural doesn't mean it's right in our minds. So we need to change that. So that's Young and Taurus, speciesism, objectification, a little bit of Davis, and that's going to be it for today. Thank you.